welcome to the MadTrio podcast. This week we have the California Pariah, Jonathan Charney, James, the Fat Man Stevens.
Hello.
Rob, the old guy.
From the Rob Charney Show.
And holy shit, it's Monday. We got Ryan. Who the hell is this, Preston?
Who the hell is
becoming
this?
more and more appropriate every time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
It really is.
So we're gonna start.
Go ahead, Johnny.
We're gonna start this show off with a bang.
Anytime
and
now,
here's our
John.
sponsor. In 3, 2. Today's show is brought to you by Audacity, the unforgettable party game for mischievous people. They have online monthly game nights on Discord, so make sure you stop by their Facebook page for event times and dates. You can also grab a free quarantine version of the game straight off their website. Audacity, the unforgettable party game for mischievous people. So the first story of the day is FDA approves first new Alzheimer drug in nearly 2 decades. Biogen drug approved after facing doubts whether it slows progression of the memory-robbing disease. U.S. health regulators approved the first new Alzheimer's drug in nearly 2 decades, casting aside doubts that it may or may not work. The approval Monday of the therapy, which has a molecule named...
there we go.
It's ADUCANUMAB. Will be sold as... Y'all need easier drug
Never mind.
names.
Just whatever.
Marked as a watershed drug after billions of dollars investment in the maker Biogen. So Food and Drug Administration explaining its decision said scientific evidence indicated that it reduces a sticky substance in the brain called amyloid, AMYLOID, which is associated with Alzheimer's and is likely to produce benefit to the patient.
Was this for my sake? Is that why are you hinting?
We're all getting older, so actually because
This new one I'm going to be taking?
everybody
Another?
has been touched by Alzheimer's.
Touched.
I mean,
Yeah.
I figured it was worth saying because this is the first major breakthrough that I've seen in a long time.
Well, it's claimed to be... So what they're saying about this particular drug is that it doesn't stop Alzheimer's, but it slows down the progression.
So how it works
Okay.
is a lab-made antibody and immune agent that protects the body from harmful substances such as viruses and toxins. Adulim is modeled on antibodies taken from older people with a very slow or no congenitive decline that scientists discovered are specific to amyloid. When injected into the body, the antibodies latch onto amyloid clusters in the brain and clear them from the brain. So basically, there's a skunk in the brain, and somehow you inject this stuff in it, and this stuff latches onto the goop and is somehow supposed to remove it. It's Drano from the brain, I guess.
I don't know.
But what are the side effects? Forgetfulness?
Anal leakage. It
Hey, the
doesn't
side
actually
effects
say.
are FDA approved. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
My favorite side effect ever is may cause anal leakage and death, which is like, oh great, I'm going to be dead and have anal leakage.
Yeah, I've heard of the anal leakage one, and I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that is worse than the actual disease.
Well, you remember what Lestra,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
That was that chip. Let's get the chips with it in it. Yeah, just what I want to have. Eat a bag of chips and shoot your brains out at the same time.
All of a sudden you're an
I just-
earthworm.
It's like, oh my God. Whoever approved that advertising?
So a preliminary analysis conducted by the Institute for Clinical and Economy Review, a nonprofit research advocacy group, try and saying that without taking a breath, said the drug could be cost-effective per patient at a price of, drum roll please, because this is a hell of an over, $2,500 to $8,300 a year.
Oh,
And that's
a year.
A year. And that's not saying, it doesn't say like how much or how often. So I'm kind of curious to see how well this actually works. So apparently, last drug FDA approved was in 2003
For Alzheimer's.
for Alzheimer's.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, let's hope that helps get more drugs in there or in the stream of helping out patients with Alzheimer's, and maybe I'll have some luck at the end of this whole thing. So, hey.
I hope so.
So you've probably all heard about Blue Origin's spaceflight program that they have trying to go.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Jeff Bezos,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, hold on. You mean
Like the F-35.
the wannabe
Yeah.
SpaceX?
The wannabes. Well, okay, so we can call it whatever you want, but it's Blue Origin is what we're going to talk about right now. Well, guess who's going to be one of the first people to go up in their ships, which I got to give him a lot of credit for. Bezos.
Musk.
Yeah, no, Bezos.
come on.
No, Musk is going to go on his own. Musk is smart enough to even know he doesn't want to go on his own.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be hilarious.
If he put the
Musk was
flight
the
on
first
it.
one.
Bezos wouldn't let it. He'd put his, whatever down. But so, yeah. So
I'm surprised that the shareholders of Amazon would allow that to happen.
So this
Oh,
happens.
they took out a life insurance policy on his ass, I'm sure.
Yeah. And you got to remember, he's stepping down as CEO of Amazon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But
So
not as chairman.
well, he's going to be basically a private citizen. So he feels like I might as well go try out my new fancy space capsule, and we'll see if I make it back or not.
And there's 1,000 people on Twitter going, effing die.
1,000. I bet there's
I
more than
can't
that.
wait to see the Rocket Man memes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
God.
that's officially my one of the songs about Elton John I could never hear again and be happy, which is a shame. It was such a good song.
So not only is Jeff going, but his brother Mark is going too. So it's going to be a family affair. If you were investors
Take
in
them
this,
all out at once.
yeah. So I mean, is he paying for this like everybody else has to pay for it? That's what I want to know.
He's getting the brother discount.
He's getting the family discount. Yeah, that's the thing, because it's supposed to be a paying venture, right? People are supposed to pay for this privilege.
Exactly.
And they're taking the first two seats. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Driver's seat and shotgun, right?
At least they're going to be the first people at the scene of the accident.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
So,
Yeah.
Mark Twain had a patent.
Okay.
And I'm not actually kidding. It's
I believe you. I don't put anything past Mark Twain.
let's see. The patent was granted on 1871. He loved cats. This is the first sentence of this article, by the way. And this is Smithsonian Mag. It said he loved cats, collecting young girls, and hated suspenders. By the way, that's a hell of a trio.
I hate suspenders.
Yeah.
When people wear suspenders with belts.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to grab them and try to explain the purpose behind it.
Well, I mean, when you get to like my age and you have a lot of Dunlap over, you got to, there's only a couple things to keep your pants up, and that's a belt and suspenders. So what can you do? You got to put them both together.
But the strangest thing is that the one is
Never
not
done it.
One is not like the other, though. He loved cats, collecting young girls, and hated suspenders.
Okay.
Samuel Clemens hated suspenders so much the fact he invented a patent and an alternate solution for keeping pants up. He improvised an adjustable detachable strap for garments, which has a button on adjustable strap that could be used to tighten garments. It could pinch a shirt waist, for example, and the patent was granted in 1871. It was also, let's see, where was the part that was interesting? Twain's invention was not only used for shirts, but for underpants and women's corsets.
Hey, I've always had a problem keeping my underpants up, so I need those too.
But not your corset. Your corset stays up just fine.
Yeah, I guess. Good grief.
This clever.
When I first started wearing a suit for work all the time, I became aware of a lot of different accessories I didn't know were a thing. One of which was sock garters.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh yeah.
That baffles me.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
My socks seem to stay up just fine. I'm not sure why I need a garter for it. I never could figure that one out.
I get back in the day elasticity wasn't what it was.
I guess.
I remember a movie. I think it was called The Superintendent or something like that. It was a guy that was forced to live in his sleazebag apartment building.
Yeah.
I remember that being one of the bits. Is he was taking a look and he had sock garters and they were making fun of him for it.
Well, I've seen it in the movies a number of times, but it's like I don't know anybody that's ever really used them in real life, so it's kind of like, okay.
Ryan, how do they work?
Ryan, it's your story.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's your story.
How do they work?
Phil,
come on,
tell us about it.
What, sock garters?
Yes.
Okay, so for the uninitiated in dapper men's fucking clothing.
Dapperman.
Basically, it is, if anybody knows what a garter belt is, it's a belt that goes around your waist. It's got little clips that go down to your stockings and hold your stockings up. The sock garter is basically a miniature version of that. It's like a belt that goes around your calf, you know, a little high on the calf, and it's got these two little straps on either side of your leg. They clip onto your sock and keep them from riding down throughout the day.
Okay. So it keeps you from embarrassingly pulling up your socks all day long.
Yeah, embarrassing, like a little bit of ankle showing at a board meeting, and you know you're fucking ousted.
That's right. Oh man.
You know, if there's any reason, I guess, to go American Psycho on somebody, it's because they're mad that you're showing a little ankle.
Yeah.
I mean, how you know, it's like trying to be sexy. I'm wearing no socks. Don't you see it?
Woohoo! Yeah. Now, what all these guys that are fashionable now are not wearing socks with their stinky leather shoes. So that's the thing, isn't it?
That actually is kind of a thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. And so
I have seen that.
And so is taint sunning. Let's just say some things should never be happening.
You know, obviously I'm not in fashion, so I don't know. It appears to be the thing. So what can I say?
So I'm pretty sure I didn't bring this up, but I remember I was looking at it. So now, did I mention tardigrades the other day? I didn't write it down.
I don't think so.
Sounds familiar.
Remember, I might have Alzheimer's. So help me out with this.
So I'm bringing this up again because Ryan, I'm not sure I did bring it up. I think I did, but it might have been the end of last week. So Ryan, you know about tardigrades, right?
Yeah, water bears.
Yeah, water bears.
Sorry,
go.
Okay. I think you talked about this, but
we can talk about it again.
Exactly.
Ryan, you remember that these things can basically survive in the vacuum of space inside a volcano, Antarctic lake. But did you know?
They're an extremophile.
But did you know that they can? So about 2,000 miles per hour, they die.
If they do,
if they get shot out of a cannon, or basically somebody created a gun to shoot these things at 2,000 miles per hour, they die.
2,000 miles an hour is their G-force limit, huh? What's that?
They die.
Mach fucking 2.5?
Yeah, about that. So, but below that,
you can't
they
pull
can
4G,
survive.
you stupid ass water bear.
Yeah.
Careful, their cousin, the drop bears, might get you.
Who the hell comes up with shit to shoot these fuckers out of a cannon to die?
Somebody who's really bored. I mean, isn't that the basis of science, though? Is somebody's really bored and so just wants to see if something will work?
Well, so okay, here's the thing about that though, and because I'm being pedantic, I have to bring this up.
You no
shot the cannon, like it's not about the speed so much as the acceleration.
So do you think they're playing like a soundtrack as they do it? Because I totally would. They got to have another one of the astronauts going, and 3, 2, you know, like the 3 circus.
But okay, here's the thing: is if you can get up to 2,000 miles an hour and not even notice it if you increase your speed very, very gradually. I want to know how fast they went from 0 to 2,000, 0 to Mach 2.
You know what the biggest problem with going that fast is?
Applied,
Stopping. I don't care how fast you get. I want to know how the fuck you stop.
Well, hopefully not quickly.
Yeah.
No sudden stops. Yeah. You're spamming the camera. Yeah. Wow. All right. So now, James, we've learned about that.
Okay.
So
anyways,
go on.
I was also going to bring up. There it is. So, did you hear that Disneyland opened up their Marvel
universe? Yes, I did.
Yeah, on the Marvel.
Did you hear about the line that was sitting out front of it?
No. Was it a lot?
Yeah, they opened it up, and I think it was. Let me see where it says. It says it was like switched back for a while. They actually figured it out. Or did it just go? I just saw how long the actual line was. It was like a half-mile line.
Damn. I have to admit, I'm kind of bummed now that they have Spider-Man and all this. Next thing is Snoopy. They're going to be Knott's Berry's farm.
And the problem is that most of the line out there, they told them that they needed to get there way before they open. Well, Disneyland has a really long now screening process where they have to take your temperature as well, along with the security checkpoint, and along with getting your, going through with your ticket and everything else. So with the social distancing, most of them were turned away.
So did they get it their temperature taken Chinese style?
No.
I sure hope so.
Because there would be a great memory, the happiest world on earth, and you're bent over having some Disney.
So mile long line.
Mile long. Okay,
mile long line.
Let's go for a mile.
Yeah.
So the other problem is
how long the line was.
they opened up Disneyland to more than just Californians. It's bad enough it was just Californians, but now anybody can come to Disneyland, and that's probably part of the problem.
Yeah,
we're letting everybody in. We keep doing that.
So, did you ever watch?
So much for Disneyland. Moving on.
Did you ever watch Mod Squad?
Yes, I did.
Clarence Williams III died.
Oh man,
you know who he is, right?
Yeah, I do.
So
Link. He played Link, didn't he? I think
Purple. He died at 81. Is the Purple Rain? He was also in Purple Rain, which I did not know.
Good job for him. Yeah, he did good. All right, here's a quiz for you guys. Do you know what a universal waste management system is?
Universal waste management, is it like a trash company?
Oh, all right, so
that's what I was thinking.
If I told you that this particular item, and they're calling it a UWMS, stands for Universal Waste Management System. This particular item costs $23 million. What do you think it'd be? I stumped everybody. You guys aren't paying attention to what the astronauts are doing on the ISS.
Oh, toilet.
It's a toilet. It's the new space toilet. But we can't call it a space toilet anymore. We have to call it a Universal Waste Management System for the ISS.
Because it lifts and separates.
Space Station. It lifts and separates. I don't know what it does for $23 million, but I'll try it.
It was like
it does a lot of sucking.
That's what she said. It reminds me of I've been listening to an audiobook about submarines, and there was a civilian on board, and the comment on there said, "Hey, I need you to show me how to use the toilet," because I guess it had all sorts of knobs and pressure relief valves. And
yeah, I think that was on an old site.
Why don't they use the 3 seashells up there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
This was in World War II. I think that was pre-invention of the 3 seashells.
So anyway, next time you guys have to take a crap, think about the $23 million toilet up at the space station.
Talk about toilets. I found the world's lamest IoT device besides the smart tampon was the smart diaper. The IoT diaper.
Just a Bluetooth?
It alerts you that the baby's diaper is full. Want to know when your baby's diaper needs to be changed? There's an app for that. Besides the smell lofting.
The swell, it's swelling at the same time.
When they say that 5 pounds or all those things are hold, all those things are hold.
Yeah, all right.
So so is this really something that somebody needs? Is they need a chip in a diaper to say, hey, your kid needs to be changed?
Well, with the kids.
They might want to be taking that Alzheimer's medication then.
Maybe this is for Alzheimer's patients because after having a baby, I can tell you it's easy to tell.
Normally, it's but maybe it's for that younger generation. Z's or X's? No, you're X's.
This
I don't know.
This pricey watershed product employs a baby monitor and active sensor to track the real-time wet diaper and sleep patterns.
It's got smell-o-vision too.
The video monitor is made by Logitech, enabling parents to watch their baby through the app from anywhere.
Logitech. Got to be a different Logitech. Can't be the same company. Tell me it's not.
Yeah, it says.
Oh my goodness.
So they went from making universal remote controls to baby to high-tech diapers. By the way, I love.
Shit, I'm about to buy a fucking Microsoft Flight Simulator goddamn flight stick from those bastards.
From Logitech? Well, that I could understand. Just don't get the Diaper app.
No. See, this is perfect. So when he's
he's gaming, he doesn't have to get up.
When he's flying in Timbuktu, he can be like one of those Korean gamers and just never leave the seat.
Exclusive.
No,
never leave your lazy Susan. There you go. Yeah.
What was it? There's there's a movie with John Ritter that has that. It was called The Napper Crapper 5000.
Napper Crapper. I like that.
Stay tuned.
What's the movie?
Reality?
Back to fun facts about tardigrades. Because I've been distracted by this. I've been trying to look up what they meant by 2,000 miles an hour.
You went down the rabbit hole.
Just anything over that. Yeah.
I did. I had to.
Yeah.
Because again, we're talking about acceleration, not just, if you get to 2,000 miles an hour, you can walk around as long as you don't go any faster. You're just staying at 2,000 miles an hour. That's why you can walk around an airplane. So I found the abstract of the research that said that they can survive, now just to clarify, we're talking about impact.
Yeah.
So an impact of 2,000 miles an hour might have been, what somebody was breaking it down to. But it said that they could survive 1.1 gigapascals. And then I had to go down the rabbit hole of
what that means,
PSI and what that means. Yeah. So a standard atmosphere and a Pascal is, in the 5 behind the decimal point, type size of number. Let's see, where was it here? Tardigrade could basically survive. Let's see what was.
We just lost our audience. That guy that was being.
One gigapascal is 14,000. I'm sorry, 145,000 psi.
145,000 psi. Okay.
Yeah, so a tardigrade can withstand way more force than I thought we were fucking talking about.
Wait, isn't it?
I guess the whole idea was they were trying to figure out if like lunar impacts could be carrying something like that type of microbial life. And the force that you're talking about, though, is well above, 1.14 gigapascals.
But tardigrade, isn't that a bad guy on Doctor Who?
You wish.
Tardigrade?
It sounds like a Doctor Who bad guy.
Could be.
I say in California news, judge overturns California's assault weapon ban. Talk a little bit about something that's related to the Constitution of the United States.
Okay. So he, in his 95-page, if I remember this right, I'm trying to do this from memory, in his 95-page dissension on the state of California's assault weapon ban, boy, I'm sorry about that, folks. My understanding is that he went ahead and did a 30-day stay, so the state, of course, can appeal, in which they've already said they're going to take it to the Ninth Circuit. So it'll be another 3 to 4 years before we know anything about it. It's quite the, if somebody wants to read something about the Constitution, the way an interpretation by a judge is, that's definitely one that they should read. It's very, very interesting.
Huh.
So I know we talked about this during Rural Flicks Reviews as a joke, but Indiana Jones 5 is actually happening. So, yeah, Indiana Jones is going wild lengths for Harrison Ford's stunts. So, Indiana Jones, the Geriatric Crusade is a thing. Not the name, by the way. So, does anybody want to see an nearly...
I'm pretty sure that was the joke you made for 4.
It is. And it's hilarious to me. That's all that matters. So, would you guys actually see it? Because I regret seeing Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No. That's the one that shall not be named, and you just broke the rule.
Yeah.
Hey,
that doesn't exist.
I never agreed to that.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, John.
It doesn't exist. It's just like that fever dream that I had about bat nipples.
Whoa. Actually, here's a movie I really want to see. Rob Zombie confirms his next film is The Munsters.
Really?
That's going to be rated R.
I'm kind of curious.
That's kind of an odd mix, odd fit. Yeah, maybe. What the heck?
Kooky meets graphic.
I wonder what character he's going to play.
He's going to direct it.
Oh, he's going to direct it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's going to be rated R. He doesn't do things that aren't rated R.
Yeah.
I love because it says, known for The Devil's Rejects and 07's Halloween, it's confirmed he's filming a version of The Munsters. Some fans have pushed against the project. Rob Zombie has shown admiration for The Munsters for quite some time. The zombie song Dragula is a direct homage to the series. I did not know that.
I didn't either. Anyway, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if the Munsters need a rated R version.
The issue with the Munsters, and I think a lot of TV shows of the 60s, is it could only happen then. There's been multiple actual made-for-TV movies with the surviving cast, and none of them really kind of went anywhere. I think there was even a reboot at one point. It's like the Addams Family. I think in order to do it, you have to do it a certain way, and I don't think the Munsters could survive modernizing it. Like Addams Family, I think could, because of Rod Julia and the movies, they made it incredibly darker. How do you make something that's that with the Munsters? It's slapsticky comedy kind of 60s.
Well, it's going to have to stay that. It's going to have to be that flavor. It's got to stay that way.
I don't think.
You can't make a Munster realistic type show. It's going to have to be a comedy.
So basically, it's going to be as bad as the All Ladies Ghostbusters?
I hope not.
Because I don't know how you would actually do it. Because I just don't think that level of that type of thing. It's why they'll never make
I guess we'll
Batman
find
TV
out.
show that'll be any good.
I guess we'll find out if he directs it.
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, and
or James?
Somebody.
To say, I don't see him making it like the 60s one. I see it being like more of an updated, gritty version of it with, as I said, rated R elements. That's what I see. I can't see.
Potentially. But at the same time, what that show was versus the Addams Family was much different. I don't know if you go with This Ain't Your Daddy's Munsters kind of a vibe,
See, that's the thing I don't understand, because Addams Family, I think the way they made it in the early 90s, I think was a direct correlation. You could see the step to the Raw Julia version versus the Munsters. I just don't see how you do it, because it doesn't have that creepiness factor.
That's why you're not directing it.
Yeah, but watch him do the fucking gothic version of like Modern Family.
Yeah.
Could be a Beetlejuice take.
Really. I like that. You can sell me on that show. The idea of this super modern family of all the modern issues going on in 20, because that's the thing is it's just that gothic take on this creepy family, but it was very much of its time. You add all the new shit in there, I'd be interested to see how that crazy family reacts.
Yeah, but as a movie, though, would that be enough to hold a movie? As a TV show,
Sure.
100%.
Well, they did it more or less with the animated version of the Addams Family.
That's true. Interesting. I'm just fascinated with the fact
I don't even want to think about that one.
So this reminds me of WandaVision.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if anybody out there watched it, but it was.
I did.
It's very.
It was weird.
It was,
I enjoyed it.
The first 3 episodes, I was scratching my head, and then by the 4th episode, I kind of went, "Okay, I get it now," and I finally figured it out. It was, I really liked it. It took the first episode. I couldn't figure out what I was watching. It was very strange. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, being
But I
sorry.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed WandaVision, and I mean, I guess if he does it in a similar vein, I could see enjoying it, but I don't know. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
Not sold yet.
yeah, understood.
I'm curious to see how they do.
But I think this might be his like, hey, look, I like these things too. It's not like I go to sleep and drink a warm glass of blood and pass out in the coffin. I mean, he's a regular guy who likes things, and he's a good director, and I think people would give him money for him wanting to do something different.
See, I would never think that about him. However, Stephen King, I can totally see sleeping in a like a 55 Chevy bed.
Yeah, writers are a different story, but the type of entertainer that he is, he's got to be a goofball, man. From like 10 to 1, he's a full blown fucking nerd.
Oh yeah. There, what was it? I actually just recently saw this in the last 6 months. There was one of those MTV where they showed that guy's house. First of all, he lived in Dan Blocker's old house, which is hilarious. That's Haas from Bonanza. But you see this interview, he seems naturally goofy. And and who has this really weird reputation of just being this horror musician, horror fanatic.
Yeah.
So I could totally see him being, because most musicians that I've met on some degree, they're all geeks. Because I don't think you could be a musician and not be, like, especially a high level musician. Like the interviews with the guy from Smashing Pumpkins. Have you seen any of his? The lead singer.
No, can't say that I have.
Oh, you should. He actually owns the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance.
I no wonder you knew that.
Billy Corgan. No, it's interesting because you watch him talk about his gear. I've watched a couple of his loadout videos when he's talking about what he takes on tour, and it's he's hardcore geek. So I wouldn't be surprised if just by default that Rob Zombie is, especially if he's in the level of horror like he is.
Okay. Dead air.
Yeah.
We can't.
Come on, that was waiting.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to be done with your little rant. Are you done?
Apparently not, because I got to cover more space.
Oh, you really do? Okay. Because I was going to bring up the next story when you were done with that.
Well, let's go, James. I'll step in.
Okay. All right, fine. So,
well, hold on. We
there
got
was
a break.
Mom arrested. No, we don't.
Do you want to keep
told me
up
to
to
go.
date on the maddest of the mad at the MadTrio podcast? Check out our social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or go to themadtrio.com.
There you go.
Now we got to fight with it. Our hosts are fighting over our own spot.
So
I told him I was going to do a story, and then he just goes ahead and cuts me off.
He's rude.
So.
James,
I don't have control of that board.
James has been drinking.
You should just break his fingers. Just reach over and just snap them. I mean, you haven't done that in a long time?
That's been a while. I have to find a roller.
Yeah, you should. A yardstick works pretty good. I mean, so you don't have to reach all the way over there.
That's true.
At this point, he'd bust a hip walking over.
Yeah, probably. Shut up.
So a 30-year-old mom was arrested after posing as her daughter at a Texas middle school.
Okay, so Mom, no matter how young you are, I don't think you're going to pass for a middle schooler.
Well, she's 4 feet 11 inches.
Okay.
And weighs 105 pounds.
All right. She's a little thing.
So, I don't know. But she decided that she was going to pose as her daughter to try to show that security was too lax. Well, she was arrested.
Wasn't too laxed, was it?
So apparently she didn't really do it successfully.
No, she didn't do a very good job.
She's running for pedophile of the year.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, drugs are bad.
I guess. What else would make somebody crazy enough to think they get away with that?
I've been down the rabbit hole lately on like sovereign citizens and the lengths that these people will go through to get themselves arrested.
Yeah.
Was that the one that the reason why Wesley Snipes didn't pay taxes for like a decade and a half was because he declared he was a sovereign citizen, so therefore he would.
Yeah, there's a whole group of these people out there that are kind of like just It's like, hey, don't worry, you don't have to pay your taxes. It's unconstitutional.
I had a friend like that who was telling me, you don't have to pay your taxes. And I said, do me a favor. Don't pay your taxes.
Yeah, let me see what happens.
And give me a call if you see some black vans show up to your door. Because I want to watch you get away in handcuffs. Oh, they'll never arrest me. It's like, seriously? The one thing you don't fuck with is the government and their money. Why do you think old Scarface got in trouble? They wanted the spiff.
Yeah. Not a good idea.
Oh, they say, by the way, it's if you say
Wesley Snipes and Martha Stewart will also contest to that.
The funniest part is you can say you got your money from illegal things, and IRS standards.
They don't care.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how you make it; they want their cut.
So how'd you get this money, Mr. Capone? Roses, selling roses.
Yeah.
Hey,
Rose flavored alcohol.
Yeah.
There you go. Oops.
Martha Stewart was hilarious too, because they said she couldn't leave her property, and everybody is like, "How about not leaving her bedroom?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That was ridiculous. You can't walk off your multi-acre manicured property anymore. Bad.
Talking about somebody that. All right, so you've paid your fine, all right, to society, whatever, and all of a sudden she's just a super big star again, and it's just like,
it's because she's done time. I've seen a couple of these roasts when she's making fun of these rappers because she's actually been in the prison.
No, I know,
and it's hilarious.
She and Snoop Dogg are like this, right?
I could see it.
Yeah, they're best buds.
So the world record for eating 3 72-ounce steaks is held by a 120-pound woman who ate them in 20 minutes.
Why?
Because.
What a waste of steaks.
Yeah, I bet they weren't even cooked right either.
I'm thinking if there's 72-ounce steaks, they couldn't have done
72 ounces, man. That's
a lot.
Yeah, that's.
Oh wow! A small framed Sacramento woman has a full belly and plenty to celebrate after successfully.
It's Sacramento woman. Oh my god!
Successfully eating 3 72-ounce steaks in 20 minutes. Not only did Molly Schuler, a competitive eater, finish the famous cut of meat from the Big Texan restaurant in Amarillo, Texas, on Sunday, she wiped the plate clean and ate the sides too. That's 4.5 pounds of steak, 3 baked potatoes, 3 shrimp cocktails, 3 salads, and 3 bread rolls. How fast she consumed the steak meals, the first one who was eaten in 4 minutes and 18 seconds. I just could not believe eating that much meat. By the way, isn't that the same one that's in that John Candy movie where he's forced to eat the gristle?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Was it Great Outdoors?
Oh, yeah. Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
What? There's nothing left but gristle and fat. The guy just folds his arms. Fuck, that was funny.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
I had the bad luck of being asked to judge a food eating contest.
When?
That'd be fun.
Long
70s,
time
80s.
ago. It was early 80s, and it was a waffle eating contest put on by the Waffle House. And this was in Encino. In Encino at the time.
Nothing like seeing people waffle.
So it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So they brought in the football team from what's the college out there in the valley? Ryan, you used to live down there in Southern California. Yeah,
College in the Valley,
Northridge. Yeah. So they brought a bunch of guys from the football team in that said, "Hey, no problem, we can win this thing." They were going to win like a free dinner at Waffle House or something. Nothing big.
Yeah, right.
Right. But they brought this football team in, and we're going to eat all these waffles, and it was like god awful. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. These guys would just wolf down as much as they can and Rolf it up and do it again, and it was just,
really?
Oh, it was awful. It was really, really bad. Yeah.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
And I thought watching the Nathan's hot dog eating contest was brutal because you're seeing these guys just, suck them down.
No, it's terrible. eating just about every food eating content, as far as trying to eat as much as you possibly can. That's what ends up. They don't show that because those people are hurling off stage, the ones that can't win it anyway.
That's where my favorite term comes from, an episode of CSI where a guy somehow, he gets murdered at one of those, and they call it, the announcer said, "Oh, and he had a reversal of fortune," which is my favorite term. That's
your very favorite term, huh?
One of them. I got many.
One of many.
My
All right,
favorite term for throwing up.
There you go. Okay.
The one that bothers me is like the crab eating leg contest and stuff like that. It's like, that's just a waste of good lobster and crab.
Well, it's the same thing with a steak. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, a waffle could be decent too. I mean, come on, there isn't anything. I like a good hot dog. One, maybe.
Yeah, not like 90.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Or however what the record is, probably 100 and something by now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of waffles, so I'm okay with that. The steak, depending if it's just like 72 ounces of mediocre meat, I'd be okay. And if you're talking about high quality, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, they didn't go to Ruth Crisps to do this, get the steak and do that kind of thing, right? Jeez.
That would be an expensive contest.
It would be. I don't think they need the advertising.
No, but that's a pretty famous restaurant, though, too.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Do I have to keep coming up with stories?
Yes.
Wow, I'm going to just start reading Twitter. Oh, actually, Anonymous is pissed at Elon Musk.
Say this again, Anonymous?
Anonymous is pissed at Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah?
For his singular ability to control cryptocurrency markets.
Oh, jeez.
Because anytime he says something about cryptocurrency, they go up and down. So much so the FEC has sent multiple letters saying that the Tesla's having problems controlling him. Because his words are doing like financial damage.
Well, I mean, they opened up the company. You can buy a Tesla with cryptocurrency if you want.
Not anymore.
Did they take it off?
That.
They stopped it?
From what I remember, yeah.
Because last time I was on their website, pay it with crypto.
Because I think Elon Musk, all of a sudden, he went from, Bitcoin to Dogecoin. And I don't think they allow it anymore, even though I think they still hold some, which I think would be smart.
No. Anyway.
So why is Anonymous mad at him? You didn't really say other than that when he talks about cryptocurrency, it goes up and down. That's the reason?
That's the reason they're pissed at him, is because he can control the crypto market.
Yeah.
But it's anonymous, though. I mean, they're whatever version of Anonymous is, they get pissy at somebody.
That's just stupid.
I think it's hilarious, personally. I mean, what a thing to get what a thing to get mad at is because he's controlling a currency that does not exist.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm like. I don't get why they're upset at him over it. It's just stupid. I'm just saying. I mean, it's just a stupid thing to get upset about.
No,
I guess they don't really need a reason to be upset. They're idiots anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Anonymous doesn't need a reason to get their knickers in a twist. By the way, I love you, Anonymous.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't care.
James's address is...
You don't even know.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't really care.
There you go.
Who cares?
Washington, D.C.
Really?
I was trying to track down the story.
That's what I've been trying to do, too. I'm not finding anything. I already talked about everything that I had to.
Yeah, it's really weird. Since Trump's out of office, it's like all of a sudden news just stopped. All my normal, all my non-Trump
all the fun
sources,
went away.
Well, it's like all my non-Trump sources, all of a sudden they're just posting less and less and less. It's almost like all of a sudden the rest of the news media is trying to find shit to talk about. Because literally it dried up. I have a couple of sources that I go to when the Tangerine tornado was in office, and they're Sahara dry.
So you know how Australia has been in a drought after all those fires and all that crap a few years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're having a new plague of issues in Australia other than, just the normal things. The mice are heading towards civilization. because they can't find water. So they're raiding farms and houses, and the mice are becoming hostile.
So who which person in Australia opened up the seventh seal?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's hilarious too. I'm actually curious if the rates of like the plague go up, because there's got to be some diseases that they end up seeing spike.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to be happening too.
Yeah.
So what do you think the next thing?
This says that it happens every few years, but they haven't had it in a long time. It says that every 10 years or so they have a plague of mice. Strange.
Maybe that's why almost every Australian I've ever met is incredibly nice. They're just so used to their country trying to murder them.
Every step they take.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I would think with the snakes and spiders and everything else that they would be feeding on the mice. I mean, they got big ass spiders out there that would eat the shit out of those mice, but
I
apparently
guess
not.
There's not enough. Well, they're just gonna have to bring in some boa constrictors. That'll help get rid of all the snakes. I mean, the snakes,
all the mice. Yeah.
I have to say though, I have met mostly nice Australians. I've never met a mean
snake. What are you talking about,
New
John?
Zealander.
Oh,
every person from New Zealand I've ever met is incredibly nice. And I've met a few up here.
I've never really gone to New Zealand much.
Oddly enough, up here in the middle of nowhere, I've run into one of the stores I used to visit. They had a bunch, a bunch of Australians and a bunch of Kiwis. And my question always is, so how did you end up here? Did you turn a wrong turn at Rhode Island or something? Like, we were visiting such and such. So you stopped here? Is it even on your map? Yeah, it said Placerville. So it sounded fun. Okay, hey, go for it.
well, because they like to get plastered. So, it's close.
Yeah.
Plasteredville.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know.
And I guess they're gonna get they want a bunch of toothless people to hang out with and go, you have a great accent.
I don't know.
So, Ryan, you still there?
Yeah.
Do we have your attention?
In and out.
Did you watch the Logan Paul Mayweather fight?
I wanted to see that.
I'm sad to say I did. That boring ass shit.
Dude,
So tell us about it.
Mayweather gave a Logan Paul mad props for that. And a lot of people have given him some for not dying.
He didn't take it as seriously as he should have. He took it as like, hey, let's make this an entertaining fight. I don't think he really put in the kind of effort until like late enough in the rounds where it really wasn't going to make a difference.
Wait, seriously? He fought somebody who's considered one of the greatest boxers of all time and didn't take it seriously? He's lucky he didn't piss off Mayweather.
It went 8 rounds.
Well, he did about 3-4 rounds in. He was getting a little grabby.
So like Conor versus
see Mayweather saying something to him. I didn't know if it was like, come on, let's fight. Don't just hold on to me, or that's more or less the attitude that I got out of it.
Like Conor versus Khabib pissed at him, or just like, I'm gonna just knock you out and walk away pissed.
What was the first one?
Like Conor versus Khabib.
No, just like in the middle of the fight, got a little frustrated with
okay,
with the way he was fighting, and you saw him kind of try to turn it up a little bit, but it was just too late for it to pay off in later rounds. If it was a 10-round fight, it probably would have been a lot different, because I mean, round 2, Logan Paul was pretty damn gassed, and came in with some heavy blows and things like that, but he had 30-40 pounds on him, something like that. I mean, the size difference was very obvious.
It doesn't mean anything versus the ability level.
Yeah, he outboxed him. Mayweather did by a factor of 2. Just landed more punches, more significant, more power. It was not a good fight. It was just like, okay, yeah, you tuned this guy up the slightest bit you possibly could have. Like, everyone wanted to see you knock this dude out in like round 2.
I bet it wasn't as embarrassing as watching Oscar De La Hoya versus Manny Pacquiao, because everybody wanted to see Logan Paul get his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Well, that you at least saw some decent boxing between the holding.
It was like watching somebody get mugged.
No, he was talking about the other one.
Oh, no, not De La Hoya.
No, he wasn't talking about De La Hoya and Pacquiao. That was not good boxing. That was just like, oh God, is this over yet?
I am surprised that Logan Paul.
Just give him your lunch money.
I am surprised Logan Paul wouldn't do more cardio though. For a guy who's supposedly into boxing, that's up there in boxing is cardio. So I'm just kind of surprised that he wouldn't have the ability to at least go one.
So who was his trainer? Was the trainer a boxing trainer, or was it one of his buddies?
That's a good question. Do you know anything about that, Ryan? Because I don't have the answer.
At this point, he has boxing trainers.
Yeah, no, he does. No legitimate boxing trainer, or no big name boxing trainer, let's say, wants any part of it, because the way he's going about it, trying to get these $20 million, $50 million fucking paydays, just because he's calling out some big names and people want to see him get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
It's great marketing, but it's not doing a lot for the sport of boxing.
Probably not.
It's probably doing,
but it really is great marketing. I mean, it's a lot of people have done it over the years. Is you either hate me and you want to see me lose, or you love me and you want to see me win. Either way, you're watching it.
I don't see it doing really bad for boxing, considering boxing has a reputation of being fixed. I mean, I don't think you could screw up the reputation of boxing. Not
really. There's not a lot of legitimate boxing that has any kind of stigma like that anymore.
I don't know. I mean, you hear it brought up all the time, like on boxing
people
events.
Like to bring it up when their favorite fighter loses, or something happens the way they didn't see it in a movie.
Well, you even see you see it when like
funny.
Well, you see it when the judges seemingly, when everybody sees this guy got more points, but it's on some sort of minor technicality, and that's when you see it brought up most from the last couple of boxing events I saw.
There's bad judging, there's bad reffing, and all those things, but if it happens so infrequently. It's a non-issue. People like those backroom deals of, hey, listen, you're going to throw this fight in the 8th or whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. I wouldn't think so. Not anymore. It used to be.
I mean, shit. You get your license revoked. You never fight again if a boxing commission gets wind of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, last headline, since we're running out of time. Legendary UFC referee Big John McCarthy seriously injured after losing fight to an unlikely opponent.
A fucking tree fell on him.
He did.
He did?
He bonoed.
Did he really?
Well, it was more of a reverse bono. The tree attacked him.
This is true. The tree saw him in terror. But yeah, he's hard to miss. He's 6'3" and 250 pounds. I mean, I think he's he's got to be in his 40s or 50s. He's still huge. It's amazing to me. I loved the story. The headline was funny. Never hit as a referee.
Okay?
Right? Do you know he never actually stepped into the octagon as a competitor?
Yeah.
That surprised me that he never would try it once with his background.
Hey, you don't want to get hurt. Being hurt is no fun.
I don't know. He's made his debut in UFC in March of '94. What many fans don't realize is the impact McCarthy had in the fight promotion in the early days. Because the rules were limited, his initial role specifically was to supervise the fight and make sure it ended with a competitor submitted or knocked out. Basically, that make sure they didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
So, one last headline for people that don't care about wrestling.
That's MMA, not wrestling.
I don't care.
That's one of the biggest sports in the world.
Okay. So, Everybody's probably had a Nathan's Famous hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you have, John, because I've fed you one.
If I don't remember it didn't happen.
There's one hot dog that I don't really plan on trying. That's a vegan hot dog. That doesn't even sound right, those two words together, does it?
So what does this have to do with Nathan's?
Well, Nathan's is the one that's rolling it out. It's going to be at Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs, and they're going to roll out 13 chains across New York. The iconic Coney Island flagship in Brooklyn beginning Monday. It's going to be a vegan hot dog because apparently they're missing a lot of sales because all these vegans are coming in, visiting them.
That just doesn't sound right at all.
It's kind of an oxymoron, I think.
No, see, when Hebrew National says okay to a vegan dog, then I'm going to be pissed. Nathan,
All right, that'll finish it.
I mean, are the plants pigs a rabbi?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to be blessed. I mean, so it's going to have to be a holy hot dog.
He's got a job at the plants all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, every plant, there's a kosher plant anyway.
Do you think he's the same
rabbi
guy?
there.
Do you think he's the same guy that checks the wire around New York City?
No.
The Jewish wire around New York City. They do that. They look it up. It's pretty interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the California Pariah, for the fat man, the old guy, and
another strange episode,
and
of the MadTrio,
and Ryan Preston. Hello. I guess he's gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.